Hi everyone, Mary Elizabeth here. If you're watching this video, thank you so much. I've been away from YouTube for a little bit, and part of that was just wasn't happy with the name I was giving my channel, because there's no specific topic or that I am an expert in, or a topic that's the only thing I want to cover. I have many interests, and I watch a lot of YouTube or a lot of expert people in their fields, and so it's all about me learning and sharing and hopefully giving you some knowledge as to the best places to visit and see what is going on with my hair. So before I get into the topic that I want to cover today, I kind of want to explain what you might experience, because my everyday life is kind of chaotic. I do suffer from ADD, and my mind moves on very quickly, so I do a lot of crocheting. I do a ton of reading, but one of the things that I found in crocheting and watching YouTube is I'll start a project, and I know many crocheters out there have a lot of whips going, but the problem is I'm new at it, so I probably should stick to one thing at a time. But then I go on and I see someone's making this beautiful mosaic blanket, and now I want to make that, and I have nowhere near the skills, but apparently I'm going to try it anyway. And so what happens is I tend to have all these things and then never fully complete items. So this is one of the reasons why I kind of want to do YouTube, is to kind of keep me a little bit accountable, knowing that maybe I have to share some things, as well as there's a great actually video called ADD and Loving It. It is on YouTube. If you want to look it up, it's actually very funny, and it's kind of like the life of someone with ADD. And when I watched that, I was like, yes, that is me. There are things that people can hyper focus on, and for me it is books. I can get into a book and get lost and start it from beginning to end and not realize that it's 4 o'clock in the morning that I finished the book. But most generally everything else is flighty and move on. So just to make you aware of that, you might have to leave a comment and remind me sometimes if I've missed something. So the thing that I wanted to cover today is a podcast that I listen to that is fantastic. I can't speak highly enough about it. There are podcasts out there that talk about their favorite books. They'll rate them from 1 to 10 or whatever the case may be, why this book is their favorite compared to this one, etc. But this podcast is different. And I did take some notes just because I want to do the podcast and the podcaster justice, because the podcaster really deserves a ton of credit. And her name, first of all, the podcast's name is Shedunnit. And I want to apologize. I will be looking down and up because I want to make sure that I cover everything I put in my notes. So the hostess is Caroline Crampton. And she explains and discusses your golden age mysteries such as Agatha Christie, Dorothy L. Sayre, Sherlock Holmes, the greats in my opinion. But what I think is especially great about this podcast is Caroline's ability to do great research and share real life history cases that has inspired some of your great writers in mystery, such as Dr. Krypton and Florence Maybrick, who I did not hear of before. And those stories are just as fascinating, and I can certainly see those cases in some of the mysteries, or at least part of in the mysteries that I read and have read. So I think that that's so fascinating. In addition, Caroline conducts interviews with experts, fans of the genre, so it's not just her opinion. Again, with her research and her interviews, it's just not her saying, this is the book to read, this is why it's this is not, she really puts the work into it, and so kudos to her for that. And the other important thing, I think, is it's sort of like when you listen to an audiobook sometimes, and I listen to a lot of audiobooks because I drive a lot. Sometimes you can have a really fantastic book, but then when you listen to the audio, you don't care for it as much. And it's nothing against the person, it's just that the voice don't match, or it doesn't particularly appeal to you as the listener. And sometimes that happens. For this podcast, Caroline's voice is impeccable. It's calm, her thoughts are organized, her podcast is organized, it's very easy to follow. Her voice is very soft and pleasant. It's just, she does a fantastic job. I can't speak highly enough of her. The other thing about the podcast is whether you have been reading mysteries for hundreds of years like me, or you're thinking about dipping your toes into mysteries, or you're just starting out in mysteries, this is a good place to go to learn more information. It's clear, it's easy, there's nothing that's going to confuse you. It's just a ton of really good information, and it's enjoyable. She does have also a book club, which she has 2 tiers, the amateur sleuth and the seasoned detective. I think that's kind of cool, but and in it there's a ton of benefits to each one of these book clubs that include extra videos, book clubs. I think there's also an audiobook a month that you can listen to. There's just a ton of things that she offers. I think the book clubs are well worth the price. So please go check out this podcast. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Again, the book cast is Shedunnit by Caroline Crampton. I hope you enjoy it. Please let me know if you tried it out and what you think. And more videos will be coming up shortly. I have a lot more to share since I've been away, and I look forward to seeing you again. Have a good day, everyone. Thank you for joining.